Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, up. Anybody out there? We got Rick Stone playing a little with Rodney Carrington. The old Rick roll with Rodney Gailey. Playing a little 8-ball on the bar table. These guys both like a little 8-ball. I don't know what else gets stirred up here tonight, but we always have a little fun. Dwayne Paul Spears, our regular for Thursdays, on the way. So we usually have a bank ring game, but John Perky's not in the house tonight. So I don't know if we'll have enough bank players, but we never know. We might get a little different ring game going, or some doubles one pocket, or doubles something. But no matter what, we'll have a little something going on. I'm Brendan. John's out of town again. It looks like we're taking turns this summer. And, yeah, so he's gone this weekend. I think we're both here next weekend. I might be gone Saturday. And then the following weekend, Labor Day weekend, I'm gone. John will probably be here, but I'm not sure. But either way, we should be back to normal after that, other than, a few random heres and theres. Whatever normal means. I do have 30 cases in stock, so if anybody's looking for a JB Rugged, I've got a bunch. They're about $250 on average. They go anywhere from like $210 to $265, $275, somewhere around there. With backpack straps. I've got a bunch of different colors. Most of them are black with something. I've got a couple of really cool new colors, navy and gray and navy in. Rodney pockets that 8-ball. These guys should be pretty evenly matched. It looks like Rodney's going up 1-0. I think they're playing a race to 5 for McDonald's breakfast. Or a 4-pack of Whitey's, maybe. So, so that's usually what happens around here on Thursdays. We get a bunch of players coming in and out and have a little fun, and we devise a bunch of ways to make sure everybody can play and have a good time. And we've had kind of a good week. It's kind of heating up, I guess. People are practicing and playing and picking up cues and whatnot. I think the Cardinals aren't doing too hot right now. I haven't been out there to look in a few minutes, but last I checked, we were down 2-0, which is no bueno. We're on a nice roll there. I would have loved to have kept going. Sounds like we'll have some action in here next week, too. Looks like we got a nice set coming up. Might tell you a little more about it this weekend. So Rodney, I think, is playing with his Josie. It's a little Josie Sneaky Pete. It's pretty sexy. Rick's got a Predator Revo shaft. I don't recall what buddy's using with it. If I see it, I might know. Or I'll ask him if anybody cares. Rodney has a beautiful cue collection. He's got some nice Sean's. He's got a, oh, man. God, he had a few nice cues, and now I'm drawing a blank. But he's got a few real pretty ones. I think one was an Arthur. What all cues did Mike? Do you remember all cues Rodney had? An Arthur, the Sean's, the Scruggs. Original, didn't he have a Cognoscetti? No, he didn't have a Cognoscetti. What was the Ebony Mary Widow? I thought it was an. Maybe I'm wrong.
Ask him. Hey, Rodney. Yeah. What was that Mary Widow you brought up here?
What was that? What was that all ebony key you had? Wasn't a Cognoscetti, was it?
I got it. The ones that you brought. You brought the Arthur, the Scruggs, the Sean Limited, and then what else?
Two other Sean Limiteds. The very first 2 cues that Sean ever built. Got 2 of them. Got another Josie.
Wasn't there another cue besides the Arthur, though? I thought you had a Cog or something else, too. Because remember, I thought I sent you a picture of another one, and you said...
That was an Arthur you sent me.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, guys, he's got some nice cues. There's been a nice cue collection floating around Facebook. Everybody got to see. The guy's got a bunch of beautiful cues. There's a guy out of Kansas City that has a gorgeous cue in case room. My little business, though, I sell cues mostly $300 to $1,000. I can get you anything you want. I can order anything new, and I can pretty much find most things used. But I'm a dealer for JB Cases. So here we go. Rodney's got a nice little break. I think he said his grandfather taught him, and he busts the balls pretty good. He put a lot of top on that one. I don't think he really meant to, but he breaks the balls pretty good playing 8-ball. He's got them nice and open. I think he dropped a solid. I think that's the way they're playing. So, yeah, I guess he's going to open with the 2-5 combo maybe. I'd probably draw the cue ball to play position on the 1 or the 6 and let the 2 get out of there somewhere. Probably coming across the table a little bit. I wouldn't want to hit it hard enough that it could get all the way into the 6-3, or hit it hard enough that if it does get into it, it's going to twist and turn them. Let's see if it... I don't even know. That 5 might be sitting on the nipple where it doesn't even go. I don't know. Yeah, that was one I didn't know. But he gaffed up his 5-ball. He froze cue ball, 2-ball, the 10-ball sitting behind the 1-ball. Everything else is open for him. Don't know. He's got some pathways to get these broken out if he chooses. But these guys are both really good 5-level players, or you could call them 7s in that tournament field we talk about, where guys, I tell you a lot of times we have some 10s playing each other, or 11s. These guys are more like 7s. In that 6 to 16 format or 4 to 14 format, anywhere around there, they're like 7-ish ranges. They can both break and run 1 out of 10 racks, 1 out of 12, 15 racks, something like that, playing this game. They could string 2 together in a row. It's not really going to happen ever very often, but it's possible. If all the balls are open, I would say that they'd be, right around that 50-50 range to get out. If they're not all open, then it drops tremendously. So like I said, I wouldn't put him at a favorite to get out, especially, you see this, he's saving that problem ball to his very last ball, and that's just not something you want to do. But he looks like he's going to go for this bank, which is not a real hard bank, and he made it, and he got position. He's still playing with a non-open 8-ball. No, what? Well, I think the 2-ball's blocking the bank. Maybe a 2-row bank. Can't think you would like that. Don't know what... Don't know. So anyway, why don't you guys enjoy Across the 2 in the Corner? Yeah, I don't know. Well, he got a good hit. That's not the worst idea I've ever seen. I mean, he's going to get tortured from here, I would think. It's not a... this is a pretty basic safety, battle here. It's it's generally the guy with the solids really shouldn't be able to lose this game. Being where he's at now, he's just going to get frozen behind the 1-ball here. I wonder if a player of Justin's caliber or something might try I don't know, he might even block the 2-rail kick here. See, I think he just handing back this ball, going for a good hit here can spell trouble, and it's going to. His 8-ball's in a bad spot for an amateur player. There's not a lot of places on this table. He's the favorite to make that ball. So even if Rodney misses, he's still got just a huge dog to make the ball. So opening it up like that, I think he was better getting it down to a 1-on-1 fight. Rodney can pocket this 5 easily, the 1 easily, and then from there, he's going to have some decisions to make as to how good he gets on the 3 as to whether or not he's going to be going for it. I myself might even shoot 3 first. 351. This is a bar table. That's not a real difficult shot here. And if you just stop your cue ball right there, you could even kind of hit the 5 and run into the 8, pushing it down a little bit, making it an easier shot. I think this is kind of the rookie way out of having to risk missing a ball in front of your friends kind of thing here. I don't really like that. It's kind of like when you're playing doubles and you get to say, I made mine. Like there's no way to even get a really good leave out of this. So he's going to have to roll forward and then cut this one ball in, going 2 rails back to get straight in on the 8. He'll figure it out here in a minute, but that's really the only. Oh, well, this isn't the answer. Yeah. I didn't like that a whole lot. But he left Rick a real long, hard shot. But this is a bar table. I'd put Rick at making this 4 out of 10. Maybe 3s. He made it. Kind of one-punched it, stroked it a little bit. Or unstroked it a little bit, I should say. Here we go. We got a 2-1 ball game. I'll let you guys follow the pennies. I'm not going to try to keep score to see the pennies on the table. You should be able to tell. I'm going to go outside. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Fire away in the chat, and I'll get back to you. Jody, your audio not working? Tell your wife I saw a real nice buck, man, and along with all his friends across the street from my house. Pretty sure they'll be there the next day. Yeah, I don't know how to turn that on. Like, something got reset. I think our power got knocked out because I had to go reset all the cameras. I'm not really sure how to change the volume or why, or so I don't know how to fix that, guys. John's gone too, so hope this isn't terrible. Get the bow ready. Fuck, I could just walk up and cut his throat if I wanted to. They're friendly enough. I have to clap at them long enough to get them out of my way when I'm running home at night. I swear I feel bad because I'm clapping at them to get out of my way, so they go running out in the middle of the streets. It can get dangerous out there if there's cars coming and I'm running at night with deer all over the place. They're pretty to look at, though, and I enjoy living in the nature-like setting that I do, getting to see bunny rabbits and chipmunks and, all kinds of cool little creatures. Even recently, we've seen a couple of little blue-tail lizards and or skinks, whatever they're called. First button on the left. The number 1 button? I just pushed it, so do you guys hear anything different now? Wrestle them down? I'm telling you, I could walk over and hand feed them and take them home with me if I asked them nicely enough. The deer around our subdivision are just like the girls at Hot Shots at around 1 a.m. They don't take much. Told you when I go running along the river, usually they accompany me and run by my side. A red-tailed hawk, that's neat. There's an owl that lives close by us. That's really cool. He lives down the street. We've seen him often. And when I run Queenie Park, which is one of my favorite running spots, there's a all right. Yep, got him up then. It's it's right. It's not all the way up. I'll turn it up more. There you go. I can tell the difference now, so you guys probably can too. I think I told some people I saw a fox a week ago running home at Carmen and Weidman, at Darty Ferry and Carmen, which is pretty cool. And I've seen some turtles. I saw a beaver down by the river, which is my very first time ever seeing one out in the wild, which was really cool. And what else, man? So here's a real quick little funny one. So I was running down a great big hill, and I was wearing this cooling towel. It's like a short version of a scarf, if you will. It's probably like 3 feet long total. So it hangs down about a foot down each side of my neck, over my neck. Well, it was kind of falling off a lot, especially when I was running fast down the hill. So I was kind of holding on to it. Well, there's a huge retaining wall next to me on my left with the 2-foot sidewalk, or 3 foot, whatever it is, and then about a couple, 3 feet, 5 feet of grass before the street. So all of a sudden, this great big lizard, man, probably a foot long, which I've never seen one that big in our area. It runs out of the grass right in front of me on the sidewalk, and he's running right along in front of me. And I guess he realizes that I'm going fast and he can't outrun me, and I'm going to squish him or something. So he takes off up the retaining wall like 100 miles an hour. It was the coolest thing to ever see. And so about 3 steps later, all of a sudden I feel something wrapping around my leg, and I scream like a girl and jump and turn around, thinking it's a snake or another lizard or something on me. And it was my cooling scarf had fallen off my neck and wrapped around my leg. It was really funny.
Have a break contest again.
But I once counted last year on my way home around fall. I counted 22 deer on my way home. 3 different sets or packs or herds or whatever you count deer by. I'm sorry, Jody. I know you guys don't count deer because you and your wife never actually see one, but I'm sure you know the correct term. The sad thing is, though, my area is really well populated, busy, lots of cars, and it's not really suitable for all that nature that we have. And unfortunately, we see a lot of dead animals around town. Possums and raccoons we have. I only know because I see them dead, not because I see them live. And the occasional skunk you get to smell, although you never see them. Another little funny one, when the floods were here, and I would run on top of the levee in Valley Park. It's a really long levee, several miles long, and you get a really cool view. The only bad things is you're like 20 feet higher up in the air, closer to the sun, and you're on blacktop, and it beats you down, and you're wide open, exposed, as opposed to the trail. You're kind of hidden by trees and stuff, but the trail was all covered in water. So what's strange is you see like places you normally see, like roads, cars, parking lots, buildings, things like that. You actually see like fish jumping out of the water, because it's so vast and so flat. And so no, not even a ripple in the water because there's not a boat or a current or anything. All that overflow water was just stagnant and sitting there. So occasionally you'd see like a fish jump out of the water and you'd see the splash and the coming out and everything. I mean, it'd be pretty crazy. And it's just right there, like I said, where you're used to seeing, cars, the baseball fields, the buildings, the whatever. Yeah, I see deer. I'd say it's rare that I don't see multiple deer on my way home running. I mean, very rare. I'd bet a lot on it. I'm a nature geek. I love to go nearby to our, and anybody in town that's either never been or even not, but the Wild Bird Sanctuary and the bison and elk place. Well, I can't think of it off the top of my head. But they're right next to each other, and it's an awesome drive. You actually go to the Wild Bird Sanctuary, and you can walk through and see all the hawks and eagles and owls and chickens and vultures and, I mean, just beautiful, beautiful creatures, man. And I love the different eagles. And so when we were there was a guy in there cleaning the eagles cage, and you got to see the giant bald eagles flying back and forth in their cage. And you talk about a beautiful sight that up close. That is unbelievable. And that's another thing. Eagles. I see a lot of hawks when I fly, but also several eagles. I run to a place called Simpson Park often, and as I get there, there's a spot where they cut you off. You're not supposed to run anymore around the lake, and they say it's where the eagles are nesting. And it's very, I'd say, a couple times a year, I'd see an eagle flying over me. And man, when you see hawks, you're pretty, they're usually a dark color and everything. And but these eagles, man, when you see those white wings, it can be awesome. Yeah, turkeys are cool. My mom says they see wild turkeys. She lives a mile from me, and I've never seen one over by me, but she sees them over by her all the time. And we just live a mile apart in the same, kind of areas. Yeah, so it's that's pretty cool too. I grew up out in Wildwood, man, and we did see them way out there. And I hit a deer once, quite a few deer out there. Apparently, we have a bear that comes in town every now and then. Yeah, the Wild Bird Sanctuary is my favorite. And then if you go down to the shop, you can actually see some parrots that they have down there too. And then you can go do the bison and elk drive. And I don't know why I can't think of the name of the park, but they have bison and elk and deer, and you drive through there, and it takes as long as you want to make it take. But basically, it's about a 20-minute drive. You go kind of slow, and you see all the bison and buffalo and deer and elk and different things in there. And that's a really, really cool drive. Lone Oak Park. Yeah, thanks, Jody. I don't know why I couldn't get it off the tip of my tongue. Yeah, I love Lone Oak Park. And like I said, I always donate money to the Wild Bird Sanctuary every time I'm there.
See? I'm telling you.
Nice shot there by Rick Roll. Ooh, it's going in the hole. Oh, got the shelf. Welcome to the Deep Shelf Diamond of the Players Club, and that is the tightest pocket we have here at the Players Club. That pocket has hung more balls up than Mike Snodgrass Friday night. Yeah, that pocket will get you, man. That little people always ask me to come in here like about the pockets and tables and whatnot. The that little 7-footer, man. I mean, when it after this cloth gets even more worn in, like right before we got it recovered, that thing it's evil, man. It'll shoot some balls out at you. I'm telling you, especially that little lower left pocket right there. You fire some balls in there with English, man. You better hit it pure, because if not, them titties will kick it out. And it's that, it seems like it's funny when I owned that place down in Cape. We had an evil pocket like that, man. It was crazy, man. I mean, I had to learn how to shoot into the face of the pocket like differently, because it just wouldn't take anything else. And so I try to implement that a little bit on this little diamond, but I feel like if I try to play that particular, I don't play as good. I don't know. But yeah, it can be a little frustrating if you don't have a straight stroke and you're not hitting them good to play that little table, because it'll spit some 9 balls out at you too. You get the tight cheeks on that table sometimes.
Well, it's also the hole that you shoot at before the 9.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
to stop shot it there.
Very true. Yeah. Mike just made a good point. You're often shooting the ball before the 9. It's usually where the 8 ball's sitting, where you have to play position on the 9 in the center of the table, or it's the 7 ball. Yeah, but it's usually a low, oftentimes. Yeah. Well, I think, you just want to make the 7. When you get to the 7 ball, you're like, okay, if I just make these 3, I win. And you give up playing perfect position and great position, and you give up trying to make you feel like you've already made all your hero shots, and you just want to play safe and get out now. But you still got to go for those leaves, I believe. Unless you're one of them ball shooting motherfuckers, which I'm not. Like Grandma and Grandpa used to play. We got Rodney in here tonight, and since he is a country fan as I am, we're listening to little old Hank, and it's the Hank Williams Jr. radio is what we're listening to, so we're getting a little mix of a bunch of different stuff. But so we're having a good time. Usually we got a bunch of guys that want to play some like classic rock kind of stuff. So oftentimes it's, pretty amenable to everybody in here to play stuff like that. So it's generally what we listen to. But when us country fans are in here first or alone or whatever, we kick a little old country on. Late at night when the party's kicking for old Mark the Shark, we kick on a little old Snoop Dogg, little Dr. Dre. Sometimes we even get a little dirtier. Notorious B.I.G. or Tupac. You never know. You never know. Blowjob Betty makes an appearance usually. We know if we can get Mark Holler in, it's a good night. I tell you what, only because I'm back here and not standing up there, it's kind of odd to see these two great big old hairy men wearing these little panties on their hands as gloves or whatever it is they're calling them. But I swear if I ever decide I have to play with the glove, I'm just wrapping a pair of panties around my hand. The other guy in our building right now shoots with a pink glove. Ooh, that was no bueno. He got a little quick. Old Rick Stone, my friend, has a son named Jason Stone. He's playing awful good pool these days. It's really exciting to see him work on his game, and it's kind of funny when you meet all these young guys. You don't know who's really going to be good, who's really going to stick with the game, who's going to practice, who's going to get better, and why, and how fast. And this kid got better quick. Like I've steadily got a hair better here and there over the last 10 years. I owned a pool hall down in Cape in 2010, and I was probably like, I'm probably a ball better since then, 2 balls better, whatever. But not for as much as I've dedicated time to the game and this and that. I would think I'd be better than that. But like Jason Stone, Rick Stone's son, like Rick Stone and I both have probably improved about at the same level. But Jason Stone, man, that kid got good. He really has turned his game up. He's playing it like he's a 10 in those tournaments we talk about. And he plays good and he's able to handle that handicap, which is strong. I'm more of like a 7, like these two guys. I personally think I play just a hair better than both of them. Or let's put it this way, either one of them could get played. But I think we're on the same level, if you will. I wouldn't want to spot either one of these guys anything, nor do I think I could. Playing one pocket I could, but not playing 9-ball or 8-ball. Rodney and I actually just had a hell of a set. We played a nice set with each other for a little dinner, a nice dinner. And went hill, and I won. That was a lot of fun. We had a real good time. And, it was a blast. I think I probably could give Rick maybe a game, to something or other maybe, but, 1 game to 7 or 8, something like that. But I don't know. I don't have to win either. He might just beat me even. He plays awful good. He's hitting the balls good. Dwayne Paul Spears. Hey, man. A good friend of mine's come in here twice in the last week, Dwayne. He says you and him chased a guy up a tree one time. I told everybody here that was here that night, I said, we're on camera too, by the way. We're on right now, just so you know. Don't tell any bad stories. But he came in a couple times, and I told him that, I don't know why, but I just happened to tell him that you were here on Thursday nights, and that was my favorite night, and, all of a sudden he goes, really? He goes, man, I know him. He goes, you gotta tell him my name. And I said, well, that's what he said. He's like, me and him did a lot of stuff together, man. He's like, we chased a guy up a tree one time. Yeah. So I told everybody here that night. I said, hey guys, I got a nice surprise for you. So we got a celebrity coming in. And everyone's like, really? Who? And I'm like, well, he's really more of a St. Louis celebrity. And they go, John Goodman? I was like, no, it's not fucking John Goodman, man. It's John Pedroli, JP. Yeah, I love John Pedroli. So, owner of JP's out in Eureka. If you like to play pool, he's got a neat little bar out there. I think they have tournaments. I don't know what days they have them on anymore. I forget. But maybe somebody can post it in here or let us know. But you can call out there. But JP's in Eureka. They have good food, too. And it's just a neat little bar if you're ever out there and looking for a little place to eat. They have good food. Nice little place. And JP's a good player, and if he's in there, you can definitely get yourself a little quick game. But apparently him and Dwayne Paul Spears, our friend, go way back. Seems like every great pool player I run into knows you from like 30 years ago.
I told you, man. I quit for like 20 years.
Yeah.
I wasn't bullshitting.
So the bad stories, yeah, I don't know about all that. We're not trying to like. Besides, I think you're too young for all that, aren't you? Anything with 2013 in your email says you're way too young for anything like that. What do we got? A 3-3 score here. Yeah, these guys are, like I said, they're real close in skill level. If I had to guess, I would say Rodney is a hair better, but I would think so. Rick's playing good though, man, and especially for some reason though he plays real good with his son, and they play real good doubles together. Like they've won several doubles tournaments, and Rick can definitely play. His game's come along a little bit. Like I said, I mean we're pretty close, and for us old guys, we don't improve that fast. But his game's come up. I mean him and I about the last 5 years have always been real close, and like I said, I would bet on me. But I don't think he'd have a chance in one pocket or banks, but just normal on anything on a bar tape like 9-ball or 8-ball. I mean, my game's down. It's more like my game's down where they are than theirs is up where mine is. It's because Dwayne's old.
You get in on the ground floor of that shit.
I apologize.
Hey, to bar the door.
Yep, exactly. So, the plan with that is to just take.
When you see the Caden's dad, in 2013. That just for some reason I was thinking somebody young. Who are you? Let us know. Everybody in the chat wants to know who you are. I don't follow. I don't go for them fucking powder on the table things here. I don't really. I understand that sometimes it can be necessary, but I'm not a big fan of it. I don't think it's fair to your opponent. I don't think it's fair to the room owners. I don't think it's fair to anybody. I don't think it's great for the table. And it's not that any of those things are horrible. It's just that none of them are good. Yeah. Oh, you get a little bumpski there. Wonder if the old 5-ball goes past the 14. If it does, this could be the end of the game real quick. If not, he's going to have to punch the 3-ball on the side and hope the 5 kind of deflects down a little bit, maybe. Shoot it in the corner. I don't know. I don't know how you would play this. About 2 shots above my skill level unless the 5 goes. Which it looks like he's poking it in the hole. And he does, and now I guess the plan to shoot it off the rail off the 9. Jacked off over the ball. James from Joplin. James, pleasure having you on here, sir. I just got back from Branson myself. Not exactly where you are, but not too far away. We stayed down on that lake down there. There's a Table Rock Lake. Some cabins. I have a blast. Second year in a row we went there. Like I said earlier, I'm a camping nature kind of guy. Yeah.
I tell you what's gonna be.
I don't think he's going to hit this hard enough to really separate him, but he did. I didn't think he would. I see people do that sometimes when they go to play that little safety, but they actually don't. Like it's frustrating when you're, playing safeties. Sometimes you need to accomplish a little bit more than just hiding your opponent. You need to hide him from a bank. You want to, like that shot that Rodney hit earlier. He didn't do quite enough of, you got to always think if you're going to bump your opponent's ball, if you can possibly bump it to that side rail, to that spot. I call it Never Never Land. Amateurs don't like it. Like where that 12 ball is now, amateurs do not like the ball there. It's difficult to get on. It's a difficult shot to make. And they almost always are going to go to the high side if they any remote chance of it. And they don't know how to get back to the other side of the table from there either, usually. So there's a lot of good things about bumping a ball there. So oftentimes it'll come up playing the game of 8-ball where you can shoot off of, like where the 8-ball's sitting, You can shoot your ball off of that, putting the 8-ball on the side rail. That comes up often. And a lot of people pass that up, but it means a lot in amateur pool. I don't think it means anywhere near as much in pro pool. But, if there's a lot of times there's an option there to bump your opponent's ball to a bad spot. It doesn't come up in 9-ball as much because you're both playing the same balls. So earlier when they were playing 9-ball, I think you heard me say, he can shoot this ball on the side and run into the 8, pushing it down the rail for an easier shot. Whereas in 8-ball, though, you can do the exact same thing, although slightly different by, bumping your opponent's ball to that bad spot, bumping, 2 balls to that bad spot and tying them up. Those are powerful moves playing the game of 8-ball. It used to be a favorite game of mine. And I've kind of lost its allure as I pretty much only play one pocket. I like to play banks and straight pool and other games, but I'm just not very good at any of them. So don't play them too often. One pocket, I enjoy it, so I play it a little bit more. James, love to have you up here. We get a lot of guys from a lot of weird parts. My good friend Gilbert comes in from Columbia a lot. Lloyd Moreland came in from the lake and played a couple times. We've had a couple guys from Rolla stop by recently. We've had, the Illinois boys come over quite often. There's about a dozen of them that come over here. And then, we've had, Mike DeLauder from Florida. We've had, players from lots of different places come on by here. There was a guy from Wisconsin here recently. It's weird. Here's a weird story. So, oh yeah, we were just there. like I said, this weekend. We didn't go to Silver Dollar. Well, I take that back. A couple of the older boys went to Silver Dollar City, my wife's nephews. I didn't. I don't need to go back. My little girls won't ride anything there.
Yeah, but the last one, the 8 wouldn't have been even in the spots realm when you shot the last shot.
Yeah, so anyway, so this guy from Wisconsin walks in, right? I might have this story backwards, but you're going to get the gist of it. And there's about, 5 or 6 guys in here. This guy walks in carrying his pool case and whatnot, and I'm standing by my computer where I'm usually at. And guy just kind of talks to me a little bit about pool, about this, about that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you know. We have a real nice little conversation. I'm like, so what are you up to? And he's like, no, nothing, man. I'm just literally here in town. Just figured I'd stop by and check the place out. Blah, 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 blah. Show you a cue, whatever. So I talked to the guy for a little bit. 5 minutes go by, and another guy walks in I've never seen before, which I know most pool players from the St. Louis area. And if I don't know them, they're usually with somebody that I do know. So this other guy walks in I don't know, and about the same age, mid-40s or so. And he looks around, kind of same thing, and comes over kind of to where I am and starts talking. And I start just kind of laughing, and everybody's like, what are you laughing at? I'm like, come on, guys. They're like, what? I was like, seriously. I was like, tell me, how does this hustle work again? And they both look at me like, what are you talking about? I was like, come on, guys, man. I've been around a long time, man. I said, there's a lot of better ways to get games than this. And they're like, hey, man, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, are you two seriously going to sit here and still try to tell me you guys don't fucking know each other? Seriously. And they're both like, man, I ain't never seen this guy, man. He's like, I'm from Wisconsin. And the other guy's like, dude, I'm from, like, wherever the hell he was from. I forget. I can't remember where he's from. And I'm like, yeah, right. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, guys. I mean, I'm literally laughing. It's so funny. And so anyway, it keeps going on, and neither guy ever asked to gamble. Neither guy ever asked for a game. One guy literally wanted to show some cues in this and that. Another guy literally was just here in town and really close by. And he said, I'm leaving tomorrow, man. I just want to stop by. And they really, really were. And I literally am giving them the hard time. Like, it was pretty funny. It reminded me of like some Cheers episodes and stuff like that. Where they, or like Scooby-Doo when you're trying to unmask the villain. It was funny. But we got a neat little club here. So for those of you that haven't been here, I just have 2 tables. I got a 7-foot diamond and a 9-foot diamond. And matching up happens mostly here. But like if there's enough people here, we always try to play doubles or triples. We've even played. We played ring games. We Thursday nights we normally have a Rent Bank ring game, but some guys are playing a little set of 8-ball here real quick. So we'll see if we're going to play right after or not. And then this place is what you make of it. If you want to come in and set up an ice match, you can set up an ice match. If you want to come in and set up a practice match, you can do that. If you want to bring your own match in here, you can. If you want to play somebody that I'll bring in here for you, you can do that. You can, I've had a guy that brings his pool team in here, and they all practice together before different tournaments and whatnot. So like I said, this place is what you make of it. We'll try to help you learn. We call it a learning facility. So if you're wanting to learn, I'll try to find somebody to teach you something. We're fortunate enough to have Justin Bergman in town, so we've got some serious firepower around here. We've also got Mark Wilson, who's taught a couple lessons here, and Mark O'Brien, who has not really taught a full lesson here, but he certainly comes in here and teaches everybody in here stuff, which is a very valuable contribution to our little community. Mike Snodgrass likes to teach a little bit about the break and jump aspect of the game. We can record you playing. You can get recordings of yourself playing. You can get, we live stream a lot of stuff like this, so it's really fun to go back and watch yourself play. You can really catch a lot of information, and it's just fun. You get to see yourself. It can be eye opening, and just slightly entertaining sometimes.
Well,
That's what we do here.
I would rather you say it.
So I'm going to go out and talk to some more guys. You guys enjoy the stream, like I said, and I'll see what I'm going to stir up next here. We got a 4-3 score. Not sure who's ahead. This is for an amateur, a difficult little shot here. And he overhit it a little bit, but left himself straight in the side pocket. And I'd say he's 80% to make this ball.
that.
So let's see the deal here. Are they Hill?
All for the marbles, my friend. All for the
Yeah,
marbles.
Hill. So let me go out and find out what's going on next, and I'll be back.
Kenny's and I do this all the time. And if we get to Hill, we say, okay, that's all. We'll just play last one for fun. But only if it goes Hill.
All of it.
We can play this one for fun and cancel the bet, or we can play it out. I don't care.
Play it out. I waxed up. I'd rather lose $10 and have fun.
Talking about Paul Spears.
Ron won't play.
Ain't nothing,
Oh, Ron Smith?
John's out of
nothing
town.
going on. We just locked up first place on our league.
Really?
So we get an automatic pass to go to the big show December 14th.
Yeah, we won first place out of JP's too.
Did you?
Yeah, get this, I missed top shooter in the league because I only have 19 games, you gotta have 20 to get top shooter. I shot 888, but I missed qualifying by 1 game.
I was top shooter 2 weeks ago until I stopped that shit.
Waited.
Yeah. Yeah, all those are dust collectors. I got mine, but when I used to, well, that used to shit. Wow. Wow.
Back up,
15.
back up that 6 and get out.
No, I'll knock the 8 in. I wasn't born yesterday.
You wasn't? I want to see how it hits. It only had one shaft.
Yeah, I know, that's what I was gonna say. I'm kind of pissed to have the second shaft.
Oh, it had two?
Yeah, but I had it first.
Where'd it go?
I thought I had two originally when I had it. I could be wrong, but imagine Josh and I charge 125 or 150 for a shaft.
Well, it's kind of like AJ and Q-Ball. Like, they'll hit it with 3 passes and if it turns, it's fine. If he hits it with 2 passes and it moves it, he just throws it out. It's like, fuck it, I'll burn that shit. Let him on fire. So he might only make like 20 shafts a year because he just throws out all the crap ones out of the 400 or 500 he has, and then he won't throw that many away. But you know what I'm saying?
Maybe I'd have a discount bid.
You guys wanna play a big ring game over here? Run it, play?
They're on their last game.
You wanna play the big ring game?
Well, come on then.
Perfect. We
Perfect.
play cheap, it's only $2 a rail.
Yeah, what's the left rail?
Yeah, we play 5, I guess.
Yeah, I thought John was coming up, and he texted me, go, yeah.
He's in Dallas.
No, he's playing league.
That's what I said. He said he's in Dallas.
No, he's
I thought he's leaving like tomorrow or Saturday.
No, he's here.
But he's leaving like real soon. He's not here this weekend, but I think he's leaving tomorrow.
I
go to Dallas.
Hey, John Perky, if you're listening, are you coming up?
I crapped one in, so I'm not counting
Oh, you're talking about Fergie, I was talking about
it. You
JP.
still get to
Oh,
go? Yeah, I didn't wanna take it wrong.
That's already here. That's how it works in that league.
I didn't call it though.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, that's what I mean, he said he was playing league too.
I thought he was in. I could be wrong.
I think he's
Tell, if he's still in town, just tell him don't be scared.
tomorrow. Robbie loves you.
Tell him he'll make some hamburger money.
Only.
Come on down, John, make some hamburger money.
You want to play again over here?
See what happens. See what's to what.
I'm all for a little table, man, I can't see on the big table.
So like Mark.
I saw you talking a whole bunch of balls playing one pocket over here one day.
No, you didn't.
I did too.
Man, you're gonna be saying all that shit, people are gonna be believing you.
Crap, I'll let you.
We're on the hill.
We're a little closer to that 13 I did.
You know, know Big Jake, stockbroker?
Yeah, mostly just one much money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
1,600.
You just never know with him, like, if it's true or.
Nobody's won between the Hearthstone and Kenny do.
Either those are his chips or he took a picture of somebody else's chips.
I know, but he posts that stuff all the time, and then he busted broke the next day.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But see, that's Jake though.
Well, I know, but that's my point. Like, just because he had that for that picture doesn't mean he had it like 5 minutes later.
Right. I beat him out of 5,500 flipping quarters one night.
No kidding.
And I got paid too. 5,500.
Wow.
I took a $50 flyer at him.
That's
One
badass.
$50 shot.
My buddy
My
Dave
loss, I
does
was
it all the
done.
time.
5,500 later. Oh, that was strong.
Hey, we were at a pool hall about a year ago.
You was at a pool hall.
Yeah.
Quit it.
Up in Indianapolis, me and Daniel.
Oh, sorry.
This guy walks up to us and he said, "Hey man, I know you guys are up here to buy somebody that got cut. I just want to let you know I'm buying blah blah blah." Daniel and I are both like, well, we're gonna buy whoever we want to buy. You know?
Oh, he was trying to strong arm you out
Not
of.
really, just kind of more of like kind of acting friendly, kind of like we'll take him and we'll staff your guy, you staff our guy, kind of thing. Then Daniel's like, we both kind of said, man, we came here to gamble, man, not to like make plans and save us. And so the guy said something about gambling, and Daniel's like, well, he's like, I'll play you right now for such and such. Daniel goes, I'll flip you for 100 right now. Guy goes, I'll flip you for 5,000. Seriously, he throws 5,000 out on the table. Says, I'll flip you for 5,000. We both like, fuck out of here. Flipping a fucking coin for 5,000.
Yeah, that's a little over our head.
You know what? You know a shot Carl shot for like 11,000, don't you? Man, he shot. They're at at Derby City.
No!
They try to get him to shoot like this shot for like.
More to the left. The one ball was more to the left.
That or something.
Yep.
I don't think it's quite that hard. Yeah, something like this though. So they want him to shoot this for like 11,000. You know, and he's like, no. First they wanted to shoot for something less than that. He's
What,
like,
cut it
no.
down the corner?
Yeah. At first he goes, that's about it. No, he had a little bit.
Yeah, but 11,000 makes your nuts weak though.
Not
That's-
to Carl. 11,000, he blinks that out of his dick.
Oh, really?
No, he fucking poodle dicked it. But
He did. He missed it straight into the rail, 2 diamonds up.
people are saying that he made. Yeah, he shot it like real bad.
11,000 ain't fucking.
People are saying that he made it the second time for like 40,000. But I don't know if that's true.
Well,
or
maybe
not.
you laid the limit the first time.
That's what people are saying. I don't buy it though. Like I don't think anybody does that for that. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know.
You gotta call that.
Like I said, if he's got 30 million, he can do anything he wants. Look, as bad as you shoot, man, you might get odds on your butt.
Here, close to that thing.
Dude, it's a fucking breakstick, but it shoots straight as shit.
Oh, John's breakstick plays great. Like racks with that thing. Yeah. So anyway, so they get him to shoot that for that kind of money.
I saw
I'd say
they were
maybe.
making some kind of gap shot. I don't remember what it was like. Crazy though. I don't even remember what it was. I just remember it was insane.
I know a
Was
funny
it like
guy
the one
in
from the
park.
back of the pocket where you gotta cut it off the spot? Like the cue ball's basically right here, spot shot.
But there was a ball on the rail too that it was involved in it somehow.
Gotcha. You gotta make the ball run into the other ball and try to win.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it.
It was
I've
like
seen those before.
fucking
He'll match.
crazy.
Nice fight, guys.
Can't get no better than that. Tells you it's easy.
All right, what do you guys all want to do?
That's the club money.
Buckaroo Banks.
I don't like that. Anyway, don't play good doubles. Draw double card.
I'll do anything, I don't care.
I hear you.
Except I don't want to play on a big table. I can't see that far.
I don't play banks.
I don't play banks.
I bank like a fucking.
Well, good, then let's take those two on. Good.
Thanks it is.
Thanks.
No, I I tell you what, I promise you this.
It ain't happening.
No, we'll play, but you got to match up playing my buddy, Tanner Rail.
To the rail.
Sam,
Bamboo.
Devers.
You might not like it.
We,
No, I'm just
you
playing
can do
with
what
you.
you want.
No, I'm just playing with you because me and him like super, super, super tight.
Yeah. I've been good friends with him for about 30 years.
Yeah. Same here.
I don't bank.
You gotta be careful. You're
I
not a
literally
stranger.
do not bank.
If my son was here, I'd back him.
I am not a banker. He knows it.
Well, we're not either, but we like to play. It's just fun. We have more of a bullshit session than
So many different wins
play
every
for
time.
something.
Yeah, I just don't like the bank.
It's all
I don't either.
shits and grins.
I'll do a cut shot every time before I bank.
It's crazy like that. We've all taken turns.
I'll do
winning.
Scottish doubles if anybody wants to play Scottish doubles, but I'm not gonna do banks.
If you guys want to play me and Wayne, play 8 ball. We don't care.
I think you can do a pull for it. I probably won't be here that long.
Mike plays you.
Dwayne plays this beat, doesn't he?
Fuck no. Man, are you serious? I'm weak. I'm a 5 at best in Missouri 8.
I thought you was all.
No, I used to play, like I say, a long time ago, but I quit for 20 years and I got old and fucking.
You don't remember me, do you?
Uh-uh.
That's good.
No, I'm saying I did
I
used to
quit.
play.
I quit for 12 years.
Yeah, I used to
I
play
quit in
pretty fair.
2002. I played all the time.
Sammy used to give me 2 on the wire and he never won once. So,
Tim Devers?
Tim Devers, yeah.
You're kicking Tim Devers' ass. I ain't playing you in anything.
No, I'm talking 100 years ago, man. And that's with 2 on the wire going to 7. That's a pretty big spot. Huh?
You gave him 2 on the
Where'd you
wire?
play that?
No, fuck no.
Where'd you play at Fred's place?
He plays just like us.
Those JP's.
Oh,
He don't play any better.
Well, let's do something or I'm going home.
He doesn't play for 7.
what are you gonna play for?
I'll play for $1 or
Let's play 5 of them in.
Oh, we gotta make it 10, man.
Well, why are we playing?
You and I can play 10 man. They can play
Why are we playing?
5 or whatever you got to
8 ball.
Okay, let's play, man. Let's just get it
What
going.
rules?
League rules.
What league rules?
How many league rules are there?
Well,
Missouri 8.
there's only BCA and Missouri 8.
Okay, Missouri 8.
So which one?
Missouri 8?
Missouri. Okay.
Oh, man.
Tails.
Race to what?
Oh, I thought
You
it
guys
was
said
per
real
game.
quick. I don't care.
These tables.
We're not playing per game?
We'll do a race of 3 for 5 minutes.
Okay, I'll play for 10 if you want. Whatever. That's like $8.33 a game, man.
Can you?
I go default. Giddy up.
Just break.
Got a flipboard.
Oh, I can. Oh, go ahead.
Oh.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, partner, I lost you. Let's do
Do
this.
you think I care?
So everybody race 3 for 10, right?
No.
Oh, no.
You and him.
You and him
are
are
a little
10, me and
different.
him are playing for 20.
Oh, you and me's 10?
Yeah, me and him are a little.
I'm Rick, by the way.
Oh, Rick, I'm
You
Dwayne.
guys don't know each other?
No, no.
Good meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Rodney.
Rodney, I'm Dwayne. No, I don't remember you at all.
I don't.
Should, am I supposed to?
You look familiar.
Made something.
Back in the day, he was in the All-Star tournaments and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Solid. We got solid?
We're colored folk. Come on, let's get it.
On deposit. No, yeah, I used to play in those all the time.
He's got a son that plays real sporty.
Who?
Jason Stone.
I don't get around anymore.
Jason's playing good.
This is playing good.
Playing better than
There's, one of those things, you used to know everybody, now you don't know anybody, except for all the old
When
guys.
I come out after my 12 years, it was a whole different world.
Exactly.
Me and little Chuck, I don't mean to break this game
No.
up, but me and little Chuck was sitting at teachers one night, shooting the shit. Like, two kids come up, they were younger, they said, oh, look at the has-beens. Chuck goes, Rodney, you wanna play with him? I'm like, "Play them all." All right, let's go. What do you guys wanna play for? $10. Chuck goes, we're not getting off the fucking stool. He goes, you make it 50, so they made it 50, we beat them 3-0.
Sweet.
Fucking has-beens.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Has been.
Yeah.
I'm a never was.
That's what I was,
You got any
yeah.
cold water or soda?
Yeah, bottom refrigerator.
Where'd you hang out at, Rodney?
Kinda gotta kick the door shut a little
Me and
bit.
Andy Quinn turn around.
There you
Hey,
go.
Quinn?
Him and
He can play well.
me, him, is this on live? God. Sorry, Andy, I didn't mean to sell you out.
Or are we stripes?
Yeah. Yeah, me, him, and Rich used to all get his Delta 88 and cruise around and play pool. You know,
And like I say, if it's not older guys, I don't know.
don't worry about me.
Saying about like younger boys.
No, I just don't know any of the younger crowd. You know what? I'm your partner, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you as much shit as you want. $10, man.
Right, exactly.
I'm gonna
It's
shark my
$10.
card every chance I get. It's worth more.
$10 is not gambling, it's
It's entertainment. Whoa! It's like a rail, wasn't it?
I don't think it hit a rail.
I didn't think so either.
I don't think so.
Ball and ball.
I hit it good.
I tried to draw into that and I didn't get enough on it.
No big deal.
But I had enough on it.
No big deal. No big deal. Brenda, you still in the coat?
What do you need?
In the coat?
Yeah, anything you want.
He only left you straight in, what do you want?
I thought I was getting underneath that 11. That's my dog. That's my dog.
I know it.
How do you? Yeah,
I mean, it didn't make nothing.
Oh, good job. How'd you not make anything play the 8 ball?
watch me break.
You doing, Coach?
That sounds good.
Yeah. I just want to make sure.
That's fine with me.
We didn't ask beforehand.
I hate some guys, man, they coach every fucking shit.
That's what I was like, well, let's make sure. What's happening, bud? Yeah.
I,
What up?
what up, man?
Yeah.
Good, brother.
I'll fuck it off.
Yeah.
Do what I do best.
Mike, so, Mike, you know Kyle Bates? Yes, he plays a little. Mike plays better than you do. Kyle's like a 5.
What's happening, bud?
Kyle's awesome.
Trying to get you.
A shot?
Yeah.
Where are we going?
Solid.
Can I get a whole pocket somewhere? Close, Jesus. How bad I just had one.
Got it around.
Yeah, man. Close.
What up, Greg? Come on, man.
I'll come out much anymore.
Richard Rodney know Kyle, don't you? No, you gotta know him.
I don't know.
You don't? Rodney Gailey? Kyle Bates?
Good meet you, sir.
Surprised you guys never met. Well, Kyle, you've been gone a while, I guess.
Been playing for 5, 6 years.
Yeah, I know, that's why I said.
Kids.
They're beautiful things, though, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
How's your beautiful wife?
Doing good.
Yeah.
As crazy as ever.
Aren't they all? Ain't they all? Isn't that what they do? Crazy.
Vegas last week.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. I love Vegas. Mike and I went in April. Yeah. I'll do
It's
that.
fun though, I do it again.
I'm ready. Mike wanted to go back like right now. He wanted to be there
I
now.
want to be there now.
I said the same thing.
Like shit, I was at the
I
Queen
couldn't
of Hearts the
justify
other
it.
day, just joking around. I was like, if I win that Queen of Hearts right now, I'm taking
Yeah.
6 G's and going to Vegas like tomorrow.
I might go like in October or December.
Like I told Thursday, just like start going once a year. I'm like,
Yeah.
twice.
Nice shot.
Nice hit.
Got the wife's place.
Yeah.
Do that. I don't even own one anymore. plays good, it's just pink.
Michael like it.
Does it look like?
You just gave him a hard on.
I'll buy it.
Doesn't make anything bother me.
I'll get it taken off. That's easy as shit to fix. Look at my brake cube, bro. I spent $200 on a pink leather wrap.
Oh,
Hey, at least it's not like in the middle of one of the parts. You have to flip the whole queue up and change
It's just down.
Oh, God, man. I figured the 14 was gonna be left.
It's not a breakout, though.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I was like, sorry.
oh, I tried to play the pro
I
side.
tried to break that ball out.
No, it's all you, ready?
Yeah, man.
Michael probably is with you. Oh, really?
Does your landlord have any control over the lights out in the parking lot?
Yeah, they all
They're
do.
like out,
He needs
aren't
to
they?
change the hours.
I know, aren't they strange?
Sorry about
Yeah,
that, but I
they
didn't.
turn on like 1 a.m. So they don't have it as like a commuter lot, so the lights are always on like through the middle of the night. But like right now, it's dark as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
It's not on.
You know, when I pulled in, I was wondering what was going on.
Hiding from you. I clicked them off, hoping you just turn around and go away. Not take my money.
Oh, man.
All right, where?
Solids.
Still?
Yeah, I'd buy that.
Yeah, it did change.
The brick will keep, I think it's set so long, this big volume.
Oh, they all will. It doesn't. No matter even if it was perfect or if it was $20,000, it's still gonna move a little bit. Just because the wood swells and
Yeah.
you know. I know, right? Yep.
Man, are you scared?
Hey, I went
Well,
over my hand, it went over my hand.
If you want to use that rack, go ahead. If you don't, just put it on a chair behind you.
Goes off my head a lot, I'm married. I don't know, buddy.
No.
I'm worse than some big table.
Yeah, you can make 3 800 that's not a lot. That's a bad place to be. Make that ball go straight forward, you block it.
I didn't like that shot.
I just had never
Yeah,
seen
for sure.
this.
Go ahead.
Never had that before. I didn't think it was possible.
Break stick.
Yeah, it is. This trip's probably so old.
We got a leaf for you. Now we gotta take her out.
Maybe my little light kicking didn't work. Must have done it too early.
Hit too hard. Too hard.
Super stroke.
That's all right. You got
Oh, I left the way to can't miss it.
a- you got a banker.
Yep.
That's why I put a glove on.
Oh, he thinks he's a cutter. When did you think you were a cutter?
When you gave him this much emotional distress.
I guess I should have banked it.
Should have banked it. You already missed one bank. You think there's a possible chance you're gonna miss another one? All right, man.
Well, that's all right.
knew there was like, oh, there's a giant area down there, just get it down there, you know, and then you'll.
I should have done it. I'm just in 8-ball mode, man. I cut instead of bake, you know. If I can cut,
I agree.
you know.
Anything was straight in. Put the ball in.
Oh, nice shot.
Too easy.
That's his little. That's all right. Ain't no hill for a fucking climber.
Easy, everybody. I hope you don't work so hard.
I know how to hook it. That ain't it. Jesus, bro.
That's good.
It ain't pretty, but we're getting it done.
Move that copper Cadillac.
It ain't pretty, is it, buddy?
Yeah, it don't got to be.
Kyle, you had any good BBC lately?
Huh?
Huh?
What did you say?
I like to get some cheap partner one like you want.
Yeah, had any good BBC lately?
I enjoy
What'd you
it.
say, Rodney?
You said.
Just accuse him.
I guess I did it. He said it, but I guess I'll take the credit for it.
We got
I
a
guess
shot
you-
at one.
You did a stint? Huh? Did you do a stint?
Just because he's got jail tats, he was prison.
No, the way he was talking, I guess you did a stint. He didn't know what a stint meant if he did it.
I've done mine.
You ain't done no time, fucker. Oh my god.
I did some.
You did fucking.
7
You
days.
did county. Come on now.
Didn't feel over.
Jesus fuck. Yeah, come on now. You did,
Detention in high school don't count, man.
you did county. You did fucking county.
Hey, you're on camera.
Hey, he had to stay for 7 hours once.
Oh, fuck, I got perfect.
I got the old God love. That's my fucking tree. You think that's your tree? He said, you'll whoop my ass, but you're gonna whoop all of us. I said, well,
We ain't
fuck,
your better
bring
man.
all you like.
No,
to
three
agree.
ball down.
Oh, you dirty dog, you got to yeah. Yeah, that's what, yeah.
They said that,
Look at you.
I got in there, they said, this is my tree.
Down inside.
This ain't your tree. Cause I leaned on it. He goes, that's my tree. I said, you're out of your motherfucking mind. He goes, well, you might whoop me. You ain't whooping all of us. I said, well, you better get all of you real quick. You're about ready to whoop me. When I get a hold of you, you're gonna wish they were all here. Over here, Rodney land.
Trying to hijack my joke.
If I hijacked it, it'll already be in my case.
All right, I hate that to show you guys. It's cheap.
All right. We betting a
Man,
dollar on
even
it?
the C players got jump cues.
We betting $1 on it?
What? I get over the 3?
On you making it,
Fuck no.
okay?
Shit, we got these players with Revos, don't worry.
Yeah, oh, look at this
You
shit.
should have bet the 50 cents. You told me bet was 50 cents and you said no.
Who's your daddy?
He was going over that corner.
No, you
over
saw
there.
that shit, Mike. I should get something more than wow.
You were going over that corner over there, you know it.
Well, give me a break. There's only quarter winning. I went and looked and lined it up.
No, you're good.
50 cents and you wouldn't even bet 50 cents on it?
I make that jump shot and you can't even hit that little shot, straight in shot for me? Come on, man.
I'm telling you, this is
Yeah,
the
but
most
I
amazing
think
teammate
that's
ever.
way
I did this, you
Hey, cut
suck.
the ball over there. I even lined it up. I walked over there and lined it up.
50 cents. You wouldn't even bet 50 cents on it.
Man, they have to give me.
50 cents.
That's 1,000 to 1 there.
50 cents.
That was
It
1,000 to 1
wasn't.
there.
I'd say shit, it was worth the bet just to get a good hit.
Yeah. Well, we didn't go there.
Oh, I get it. I got nothing in my pockets now.
Still think you outjumped me, son?
Yeah.
Sound like a jumping contest coming up shortly.
Nah, that's for Okay, so next time we play, and he says, let me get that jump cue, you can just say no. You're on your own next
Hey,
time.
that was the first time ever.
I speared one on Mike yesterday.
Normally, I don't ever grab them, you know what I mean?
That's a good jump.
I had a nice one yesterday. It was dead straight in, and I did a stop shot, so I still have a shot on the last ball. Hit it fucking
It either
good.
would have scratched or the cue ball would have been fucking long gone. If you didn't
Yeah, I'm
stop
too
it.
fat to jump.
I should.
Why, didn't you understand white men can't jump?
That's a fat white man.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I
may not
shot
have been
five.
born or bred to
Oh,
do
shit.
it.
Good, let's play it. I was gonna sit there fucking stupid ass.
Hurry, 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 hurry.
Look at me, you're me.
See, I missed that.
I mean, it was a solid combo, man.
So I can shoot crossbank?
Yeah.
Four probably would have been a lot easier.
All right, crossbank,
That's
you
one
straight
that-
in on the side, right?
That was the hardest one.
That's how you do?
Okay. Well,
That's not gonna get
I thought
it.
you had a straight in shot on the phone.
Now you can curve it. I don't know what I
You do whatever you want to do.
I'm just gonna make this ball make you straight in.
Oh man, that goes, they are quick.
Is that good? Is that a good shot?
Who's that a good shot?
Why don't I ever play like this anywhere else, man? I'm over here sparing jump shots and fucking cross banks.
Can't beat that, man. We could have bet, we could have bet where you wanted to place it.
Hey, it didn't hit the rail.
I've had my ass kicked enough here tonight.
Nice shooting, Peter.
Nice shooting, guys.
Thanks, Roddy.
Oh, there's double slides?
Good.
I don't know if I do.
Still can't believe you didn't do 50 cents on this shot.
Man, I didn't think I was gonna hit that fucking ball. Are you serious?
50
I got
cents?
5.
It's not like we were betting titles on cars.
Nice to meet you, Rick.
All right, we get
Randy, you can see.
Oh, I got it.
Randy or Rodney?
Rodney.
Rodney. My memory's about as long as my beard. Not very long. Pretty short.
R.O.D. Rod.
Right.
We appreciate you coming in. Okay,
Good seeing you. Give me.
Oh, I ain't going nowhere yet. I'm getting ready to leave. My daughter's getting ready to get off work.
I don't mind.
I'm just telling you, like, I don't want you to think anything about me.
If I couldn't afford to visit, I wouldn't be here. Feel that way.
At least like to have a good time.
We shot a shot bad.
Yeah.
I don't think we necessarily shot bad. You guys just shot really good.
I played good. I don't know about much on my part.
I play fair.
I had a couple good shots.
I always play fair.
I can't believe I jumped that fucking ball.
I didn't know either.
That thing was crazy back cut, man. Even if that ball wasn't there, I don't think I could have shot it in.
You
You got cross
can have the jump shot, but that was a
The
double
bank was sweet.
Bank?
Yeah, the cross
Yeah,
corner
the
bank.
well ball.
Oh, that cross bank. That's wider.
That's from playing one pocket. I don't know where you get that.
Yeah.
That's from watching Dwayne play banks. Dwayne's a big, Dwayne ain't never missed a one railer on this table in his life.
You just missed one.
He just
net?
missed
Man.
one.
Yeah, that didn't count.
Yeah, I didn't want to shoot that one, that's why.
Yeah. If it was his idea, he would have made it.
Yeah, bro. You know, it's one thing, shoot the banks when it's no biggie, but when you shoot a bank and it's possible they can run out on you, you lose the game. There's no pressure on my
You
team.
beat us 3-0.
Fucking up the butt cheeks, huh? You got the tight tight cheeks.
Man, my asshole was so tight, I couldn't show the BB.
Get a grease BB up there. Still take the old BBC.
Man, you got a lot of problems. Tiny butthole, tiny dick.
I got the little man syndrome.
You can
Except for the
protect it
belly.
for Jason.
God, you got big.
Bar, let's down, Rodney.
You just let me down, I don't give two fucks. Rick, you know better than that.
How's Jason doing? Is he doing good?
Oh, yeah.
Haven't seen him in a while. Is he playing teachers this weekend?
I don't think so. He doesn't like going to teachers.
There you go.
You guys from over here, this side of the river?
Jason lives out in O'Fallon, so I don't think Jason's ever been here yet.
Teachers?
Here.
I
I don't think he's ever been
maybe
here.
you once or not. Can't remember.
It's definitely a fun time up here, man. And our bank games are usually fucking
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, the bank games are fun.
Oh, sorry. That was not on purpose, but hey, I'm gonna get this shot on the 5.
That was cool.
Jason had some guy named Mitchell, I think. Trying to keep out of making the stick.
Mr. Thomas.
Yeah, Mr. Thomas, he said,
Okay.
I tell you what, you make me a stick to my specifications, I'll play with it up there, sell it to me, give me a good price on it, and I'll play with it up there and tell everybody who made it.
Mitchell makes really, really cool cues. He uses a lot of different woods and a lot of different spices and things like that.
Yeah, that's what Jason
You see the
said.
first cue ever made? It's fucking wild, man. Wow. It's all like,
It's all carpentry
like
techniques.
boxes, like checkered. You know, it's all spliced together.
3D or something?
Fucking wild.
Yeah,
Wow.
but any of those views.
He's got some wild shit I've seen.
I don't, his shaft's horrible.
Yeah, I don't really sell any of his cues, but I always, and he's a great guy. Like, he does good cue work. He works hard. You know, he's a good guy. Like, I'd let him do my shafts or tips, anything like that. I don't know that I would buy a cue from him because of the resale value. Nobody just knows who he is. He doesn't build that many cues.
That's right. I need
Shafts
to
on.
get a couple new tips.
So
His
let me
shafts
ask
don't
you,
play well.
you know all the guys we're gonna talk about, all right? Last week I was playing out at,
We might
I ain't
turn
saying
it
bad
off,
about
just
that.
in case.
I just want to make sure.
last week we were out at JP's, and Mike Devereux was there, and Oscar Wells was there, and, the other person was down. And Jason's name came up. They all was like, well, I'll play him 20 any day of the week. I'll back anyone, and Jason gets any one of you guys. And I'm like, bring it on. I'm like,
Don't post it.
I just gotta get Mike Devers, which I think Jason would beat. And then, Oscar Wells.
He might have problems with us.
Oscar Wells can play.
Oscar Wells can, but.
You know what that.
I wouldn't play Jason.
I don't like playing with Andy. I don't like playing with inside.
We played,
He won't.
Jason
What?
spotted
He
me,
won't play.
Jason spotted me 3 games on our race of 10, just to goof around. He beat me 10-3.
I didn't win a freaking game.
I don't like playing. I wouldn't like playing 10-7 at all. He plays good.
He needs to play in Jake's tournament.
Yeah, so don't you ever freaking miss a ball.
I love your son to death.
Yeah, he plays.
He's scared to play.
I tell you one of the
He
best.
doesn't think he's a 10. And he's a 10 in that league.
Yeah, he does. I was surprised.
That's the reason why he won't play.
I didn't know that.
I
Yeah.
thinks he's overrated.
Yeah, and he's not.
He
Well,
doesn't
if he
tell
wants
me
to
he's
find
gonna
out,
take
he
it.
can come play Ryan because they're both 10.
A 9 and 9 ball.
He can play Ryan, they're both 10.
Probably are 9 and 9
Right.
balls, son.
Almost.
Who?
I'm telling you, I don't like playing him as a
Ultimate.
10-7. I don't like playing that way at all. I think he beat
Terry's
me
son.
like 10-4.
Oh,
You played Jason?
I played in that tournament at Kenny's last year, maybe.
Oh.
He beat me like, I lost to him and Joey Bowler. Joey Bowler beat me like 10-2. Jason beat me like 10-4. Joe made 9 bank shots on me. Oh my god, it was just like 9 out of fucking 9. Hard. I'm like, what is this shit, man? You get out of line and then just bank a ball in 9 freaking games in a row? Like,
Yeah.
seriously?
That's Joe Bowler.
Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I should have got a shot on some of these, you know?
He needs to play in that game.
I'm surprised he doesn't. He doesn't shy away from very many tournaments.
Well, they charge to play in it.
$100.
Well, I mean, you know, if you don't feel comfortable with playing $100,
Another guy
still
there,
$100.
about how
No,
Oscar Wells plays.
No?
I'm not
How many
saying,
times
I
have
don't
you
think
played
you need
$50
Jason, to be
sets?
honest with you.
I think Jason and him would be a good
So
match.
essentially, you
$250 set.
play two $50 sets.
Yeah, Oscar
And I
Wells is a
think
good guy.
his son wins.
Well, see, that's the thing, you gotta feel like you got a shot, you know.
I think his son wins more than
Yes.
He plays very, very, very well.
That's just basically not playing pool. You know what I'm saying? Like a tenth of a tip, it doesn't scratch.
No. He was talking about Jason. He said, "I'll tell you what, you guys, I'll back whatever Rick does want to back. I'll back."
No, that's what I'm saying. He needs to play in that.
John plays pretty sporty.
He does, but he doesn't have to be this summer. I'm just telling you, that's how good this kid's playing.
Jason needs to play in a goddamn.
Jason, I'd like to see Jason match up and play with a really good player for a long set. Really see that.
But he doesn't.
Like Joey
He
Bola
doesn't
or-
gamble himself.
He doesn't have to. I mean, you can play for $100. Ryan plays as a 10 in Dick's tournament.
Yeah. Is it 10 or 11?
How about Dave
That's what they
Powell?
told me. Dave Powell, yeah. Dave Powell might be an 11, but 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Josh Powell, about the same thing.
No.
How about
A
Brady?
little higher.
Brady's gotta be like 11 or
Brady's
12.
probably like a 12.
Brady,
Hey,
Brady's last name.
13.
Bierman?
Bierman.
Brady's playing real good.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, Sam.
I would really
What
like.
about
Oh,
Sam?
no, Sam would beat Jason.
What do you?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think so. You know,
Sam and Jody just played a set even. They're both about the same.
yeah.
Yeah, they went,
Jody's another guy you can play. There are all kinds of guys around this.
went hill on that last side.
Yeah.
As far as I know, Jason doesn't mind gambling. He just doesn't want to gamble for like thousands.
You don't have
He
to.
doesn't want to gamble his money.
Almost any of these guys have played a set.
That's what he told me. He goes, I'll gamble anybody else's money, it's just not mine.
Yeah.
Well, you can't blame the guy for that.
What?
I don't blame him for that.
Yes, you
He's
can.
I
young.
don't ever spend
Is
another
he a young
minute.
kid?
No.
He's not out there barking at people either, though.
No, he's not beating down
No,
doors.
Jason doesn't ever trash anybody or say, I
Yeah,
can't
no,
do
that's what I'm
this.
saying. He's not doing anything.
He calls me all the time. What do you think about this? You own it.
I say that's a sign of a pretty good kid if,
Oh, Jason.
if he plays good and he doesn't bark.
Jason's a great
Because
kid.
usually, guys that play pretty decent, barking motherfuckers.
I never heard of him barking.
Jason's a great kid. Well, he's not a kid, he's a grown man.
How old is he?
It's his son.
You're supposed to know this.
Nice shot, man. Beautiful shot.
Yeah, he's 10 years younger
His
than me.
birthday.
October 21st, 1985.
Oh, never mind.
34.
I'm older than that. No, it's 11.
34.
I'm gonna be 43 this year. Dirty old man.
Try 67
I'll be
right
60
now,
in May.
man.
60, are you really?
How old are you?
I'll be 60 in May.
I'm 67.
I knew you were that old.
Oh.
I thought he was like mid-50s.
But I look younger than
I'm in my
67
30s.
For sure.
Oh, we were the same age.
He lied.
I'm in your 30s twice.
What are you, Mike? Are you 30? Are you really?
45.
I was thinking you were like in your early 30s.
No, that's why we were all kind
I
of
think
like
it would be
impressed at how
different if
good
Jason
Ryan
went around
is.
bragging about how
in
strong he
general,
was,
like,
or-
you know,
I
you
just
look
wanted
pretty
to
good,
play where-
like, but he's fucking 40, you know? And then he has
That's
family.
like his
going on.
dad.
I've
His
done that
dad
1,000 times.
looks super
Just play
young.
where your potential puts you.
You? Are
You
you
know what I
30
mean?
yet?
That's all I
How
want.
old are you?
And do you know how much better he would get?
I knew you were young.
He says you only get better by playing better people.
Yes.
This is true.
No, you only get better by putting yourself in uncomfortable situations and overcoming them.
Yes.
So whether it's for $50 or $80, is if you're down like 7 games and you come back and win, it doesn't matter that you won $80. It matters that you just fucking climbed the mountain and you won.
Yeah.
You know, so the $80 is more about just waiting, you know, getting paid for
Well,
your
I'll be honest
time.
with you, it felt pretty good to get third place in the All-Stars last session.
Yeah, that's awesome. I did that one time.
Well, you're a 6.
You know, I like to, Kirk Mike Beach put me out.
I was
Aren't
related,
you
man.
a 6?
5.
In Missouri 8?
I'll be a 6 next session. I don't wanna be, but I'm gonna.
Well, you gotta fix that, man. That's all.
Someone do 60.
We don't lay down.
I do.
Well, last last session I shot 857.
I could lie and
this
say I
session
don't,
shot
but I do.
888, so
Awesome.
I'm pretty sure I'm going up.
I was watching you playing really good. You did the same.
There's too many other guys that's underrated,
Well,
man.
that's what I said, everybody shut down here, I don't think my time went up.
But they don't.
And if you get rid of that goddamn stupid ass
On the
38
stream.
bullshit,
That's a handicap.
go to the Fargo rating or go to anywhere close to down there.
How do you get one of those?
You gotta play in tournaments. where
Once you get down there, well, you gotta make,
Guys
you
like
gotta
me
do
never
it.
do a tournament.
No, but once, if it gets big enough, it's gonna start going.
Once we get a little bigger spot, we'll get you in some stuff.
That's like me. I play, seriously, I play like 3 to 5 games a week.
Basically, it's just about robustness. Meaning, the more games you have, the more your rating can be condensed instead of being like, are you a 5.2 or are you a 5.9? So, which verge of you could go down or could go up? Because it's like an individual number. Like he might be 471, he might be 473. But in 3 weeks, if he wins a whole shitload of matches and plays in 3 tournaments, he might go up to like 502 and you might go down to like 460. But it's still only going to